Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 17, Episode 4. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Before we get into the show, let's talk about Siggy. Do you guys remember Siggy from The Real Housewives of New Jersey? Well, honey, listen. Siggy sat down for a podcast, and honey, listen, she had a couple things to say.
As an arsenal on everybody and tries
everybody!
to. Yeah.
Wait. I'm not going to say, but I want you to use, because you both are very smart. Who do you think supplies her with the arsenal?
Production.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's all phony.
Yeah.
Some of the housewives that you think are so wealthy don't have a pot to piss in. They rely on these salaries so they can maintain the lifestyle that they don't have. Margaret Joseph reached out to my husband, Michael Campanella's ex-wife.
Oh my God.
No.
Roxy, I got on the floor and I said, Michael, I don't like to admit when I'm wrong. I'm a very proud Israel. You know what I'm saying? When I stick to something, I'm ride or die. And I said, Michael, you were right. And he goes, I told you. The only thing that I told you is, honey, we got to protect our kids. And at that time, our kids were still baby. They were still young. And I said, oh my God, they're going to bring her on to try to do something and hurt the kids and whatever it was. Why would she need to have conversation, an interaction, or a call? My husband's ex-wife.
Wow.
That is exactly who she is.
Is anybody shocked? Are any of you peeps shocked that Marge reached out to this woman's husband's ex-wife? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I cannot believe that ne'er one of you would ever be shocked to know that. Are any of you shocked to know that production helps them dig up this information and create storylines? Absolutely not. Are you shocked that some of these women are absolutely not rich? No, ma'am. None of this information that Siggy has said surprises anybody. I have always thought that Marge Josephs was a horrible person. I also know that a lot of these housewives, they may be upper middle class, but they are not wealthy. They are not super rich, and that they are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of these housewives have no money. They are just putting on fronts and creating massive debt. So I am not shocked. Get down in the comments, peeps, and let me know what you think. Now, honey, listen. Those Trace Amigas, they have started their own little variety show. I guess they said if the Grand Dame, Karen Huger, could have a variety show, if Robin Dixon and Giselle Bryant could put on their live podcast show, if the Countess can have her cabaret performances, then they can come up with their own thing too. Honey, listen. This is ridiculous. I would 100% want my money back. I would try my best to reclaim my time. This to me says desperate. We want to be relevant. We want a money grab. This is ridiculous. Not only that, I do not appreciate these outfits. I do not appreciate these outfits. This is disrespectful to me. I am appalled. I really am. You know what? I'm sick of them. And I personally would like to offer an apology to every single peep. When I found out that Tamara was coming back, I was so excited. I was so ready to have Tamara back on this show. I guess my memory failed me. I apologize, peeps. I don't know why I wanted this woman back, because she has had zero growth. Zero growth. She is not necessary. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, get down in the comments and let me know what you think about this performance in these outfits. And on to the show. So the show starts out and we get to see the adorable Annabelle. Okay, Annabelle is giving gorgeous. Also, have you guys seen the recent photos of Emily? Come to find out, she has lost a lot of weight. She has been working out. She is looking good. All right. She says that she was diagnosed as pre-diabetic and her doctor put her on the Ozempic. She is looking amazing. That's all I got to say. Go girl. Anyway, I always thought that Emily was gorgeous anyway. I don't care what size that woman is. That woman is beautiful and her hair is amazing. And Annabelle got that amazing hair. Anyway, Emily is taking Annabelle to the modeling agency, and I think this is a great idea because number one, Annabelle is really precious. She's interested in acting, and I think she would be amazing in it. But the one thing that I love about it the most is Emily is supporting her daughter's dreams. I love to see it when parents have the opportunity, have the time, have the resources to invest in their children's dreams. I'm here for it. So after that, honey, the girls get together in two separate groups. They're at these different Western shops because, they're going to the Dude Ranch in Montana. Anyway, we have Gina, Shannon, and Emily at one Western shop, and at the next Western shop we have Tamara, Heather, and Jen. So of course, Emily has to bring up the fact that she saw Shannon hugging Tamara. I said, well, why can't you just let this shit go? But she can't. Shannon says, well, yes, she apologized to me and I appreciate the apology, but she's just not going to sweep everything under the rug. I'm just not going to stand for this sweeping everything under the rug. I deserve additional apology. Listen, both of them are to blame for the demise of this friendship. Both of them. And I wish that they would both just step up to the plate and admit their wrongs. And I agree with Shannon. They shouldn't sweep everything under the rug because when you do that, you never quite solve the issue. And it just keeps popping up. It rears its ugly head every now and again, especially when both of you are drinking. So they should not sweep everything under the rug, but don't keep bringing it up every 5 minutes either. Because if you're not going to talk it out, hash it out, and work it out, stop pretending. We're sick of it. So this gives Gina time to work on her storyline development. And she brings up the fact that she's really, really upset over Jennifer and her affair. It's really bringing back trauma for her. And then she brings up Matt and his felony. And I said, how the hell does that compare? This woman is grown. She's over here having an affair at the time of her life, which is none of your damn business. What does this have to do with Matt's felony? Okay, Matt went to court and they said he was guilty of domestic violence. What does this have to do with this woman? Second of all, I don't give a damn about Matt having a felony. If he's guilty of what they said he was guilty of, he deserves that damn felony. And Gina, stop bringing it up. We don't want to hear about it. Gina only cares about Matt having this felony because it's interfering with her child support payments. That's what I think. Gina is really doing too damn much. Gina is acting like she's some kind of moral high ground. Tamara is acting as if she is so appalled. But does anybody remember that before Tamara was divorced from Simon, she was already seeing Eddie? What the hell? I mean, these girls is too much. Too much. So Jennifer has her story and she's sticking to it. That her and Ryan did not have the sex while she was still physically living in the same house with Will, even though she's willing to admit that they had an emotional relationship. Listen, honey, I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I think she was absolutely getting the sex. I don't care what this woman says. Even if she wasn't, an emotional relationship is an affair as well. Now, when she brings this up, Heather looks at her as if she is shocked, embarrassed, and appalled, all at the same time. Now, Tamara, who is nobody's friend, Tamara is absolutely nobody's friend. She does not mind throwing out to Heather that Ryan has been married a couple of times and he is a huge cheater. I said, did you invite this woman to be on this show so that you could embarrass the dog crap out of her and put all her business out in the street, so that not only is all of her business out in the street for her children to see, her ex-husband and the rest of her family have to hear the sordid details? Why are you doing this to this woman? So Heather looks at her and Heather says, so is this his thing? He's just around here cheating? And then she said, does he cheat on you? And she freezes up. I said, oh yeah, he cheats on her. Heather says, is he faithful to you? And she looks like she doesn't know what to say. I said, girl, please go on and tell us that he's a cheater. Then she says that they were on a break. And Heather says, oh my gosh, y'all were on a break like Ross and Rachel? And he slept with somebody else. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Jennifer says that he told her that he has never been faithful to anybody his entire life. No, ma'am. There is no way in hell that I am going to introduce my children, that I am going to interrupt my life and the life of my children and parade all over all of Orange County with this man on my arm when he is known for his works, that he cannot be faithful and he cheats on everybody that he has ever been in a relationship with. No, ma'am. Girl, listen. Whether you was on a break or not, I have a feeling that he was still going to sleep with that woman. And of course, here comes Tamara, your good friend. She says she knows the girl that he slept with, and he's been sleeping with her before he even met Jennifer. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Heather tells her, listen, this man told you he was a cheater. You should believe him. Team Heather Dubrow. Believe him. He is not the one, in my opinion. She says the sex is real good. And I said, girl, listen, that's where you should have left it. It should have been all about the sex at the hotel, not in my house with my kids. You know, he cannot be trusted. This should have just been a hit it and quit it or a friend with benefits, in my opinion. Get down in the comments, people. Now, the scene with Heather and Terry when they were in their son's room, you know, the kids are gone. I totally get it. You go on a roller coaster of emotions when your kids go off to college. On one hand, you're extremely excited for them because it's a whole nother chapter of their life. They're going out in the world on their own. They're exploring, they're learning, they're having the full college experience, and you're super excited about their journey. But on the other hand, it's like pushing your baby out into this crazy world. You miss them, you're scared for them. You know they're not going to be home every night. It causes you to have a heart full of sadness. It really does. I'm getting teared up talking about it, but I understand where she's coming from. However, this does parlay her into this conversation about moving to LA. And we know she convinced Terry, honey, because they packed up and sold that house for over $50 million. I said, daggone it. Now, I don't know exactly what it is that Heather Dubrow does to Terry, but I wish she'd start a class because I want that. Anyway, I'm wondering how long it's going to take before she shows up on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So Tamara and Taylor meet up for dinner, and Taylor tells Tamara about the whole script situation. She says she offered the role to Heather. She gives Heather the script. Heather pats her like a little child and says, how cute, and leaves the script. She says, I wonder if she thinks that she's too big for this movie or for this role. And I think you are absolutely 100% correct. Taylor then says that the director approved her of hiring Heather. However, after he looked at her IMDb, he wants her to put in an audition reel. Honey, now listen. She says that she's not mad. She's just a little bit embarrassed because she feels as if Heather thinks she's better than her. And listen, here's the thing. I believe that too. But I also believe that Heather is absolutely right. She's been on some projects, and most of them are one-time guest appearances on shows, but she has had other projects where she's been involved a little more. So she does have a bit of experience. They brought that flashback about Malibu Country, but I believe what happened in Malibu Country, Heather had a role on that show, but I think she was a main character, and they asked Gretchen, Tamara, and Alexis to also be a part of that show, but I think they were supposed to be guest starring appearances or whatever. And I think that I recently heard that Malibu Country is about to do a reboot, and Heather is a part of it. So I don't even know. However, I think that it was really wrong and shady for them to make all those jokes and laugh about Heather's IMDb, because if you look at Taylor's and Tamra's, they don't have much to go on. At least this woman was out there trying to live her dreams, and she was getting roles. She stopped working, she says, because she wanted to be, a stay-at-home mom. And that's something that a lot of people do. And now she's ready to get back into the game. I think that they should really leave Heather alone here. Now, when they get to this airport, I don't know why, but as soon as I seen Heather and she had that scarf around her neck, I said, oh my gosh, this is so Laverne and Shirley. I don't know why Shirley Feeney just came right into the forefront of my thoughts. Anyway, I thought it was cute. Emily cannot go to Montana because she's got the COVID. So they head over to Montana, and all of a sudden they're showing the ranch, and I think Yellowstone. I can't wait for the last part of that series to come on back. Anyway, the place is absolutely gorgeous, and this is a place that I would love to go with my girlfriends. Unfortunately, I'd probably be the only one happy about it. And so I don't see this in my girlfriend future plans. Anyway, they start out at the bunkhouse, and this bunkhouse has some bunk beds. And honey, I'm team Tamara and Shannon here. I got to get the hell up out of here. I don't love a bunk bed. I really don't. I've got these hips and I want to keep them. I don't want to be climbing up on no bunk. I'm just saying I don't want to take the risk. I thought it was real weird how I'm so affected by this woman and her affair, how Gina decided to stay in the bunkhouse with Jennifer and Taylor. Girl, get the hell out of here with your I'm so disturbed by her behavior. So in the big house, in the villa, it's Shannon, Heather, and Tamara. This villa was gorgeous, honey, and there was no bunk beds. However, Shannon was acting a little too damn weird about which room she was going to get, and I was over her. Anyway, when she made that comment about the Zika, I was back on Team Shannon. Listen, people may not remember this, but Zika is a real thing. And to this very day, everybody who knows me knows I don't play around. I don't want to get the Zika or anything else from nature. I love the nature. I go out in the nature all the time, but let me tell you, I have off for everybody. We are all sprayed. We even have the ones that you clip on to your pants. I don't want the Zika, so I'm Team Shannon on that one. Now, Shannon is a bit too damn dramatic. Okay, they're about to leave to go to the bull ride, to dinner, to the saloon, and all this other stuff, and Shannon is acting weird. I'm not ready, you guys. Oh my gosh, I got to get my makeup and I haven't had a chance to do this. And oh my goodness. I mean, it was very theatrical. It really was. Later in the episode, we figure out what it was she was doing. But I mean, she really could have came up with another excuse for this dramatics that she was putting on. So when they get to this place, Gina says, well, this is definitely a piss by the tree kind of place. And Heather said the same thing I said. I said, well, what kind of place is this? No, ma'am, I never go anywhere where I've got to piss by a tree. I'm telling you, I'm not that kind of gal. If it's an emergency or something, I might. But no, ma'am, I'm telling you, I always like to go places where there's a little indoor plumbing. Did anybody think it was weird that all the ladies knew they were going to be riding that bull, but they were all wearing tiny skirts? Because I don't like to have my vagina out in public. Now, when Shannon gets there, she says that she can't ride the mechanical bull because she's got a bony vagina. She says she doesn't have enough meat on her vagina to ride this bull. And I said, this is an amazing excuse. And if I ever get into any situation, I'm going to use that. There has got to be a situation that I will come upon where I can just say, I'm sorry, I can't. I've got a bony vagina. I'm definitely going to keep that in the back of my head. Something is definitely going to come up and I'm going to get to use that. I thought that was just magic. So Tamara asked the new girls, which is Taylor and Jennifer, to tell them something about themselves that nobody knows since they're new to the group. And we find out that Taylor is bisexual and she had a 5-year relationship with a woman. And then on Watch What Happens Live, she said that most people do not know that about her, including her mama, who found out on the show. I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Listen, that's not something that you just drop on your mama on national TV. Personally, if I was Taylor, I would have called mama. at least 2 hours before the show came on and said, hey, by the way, Mom, I'm bisexual. I mean, give her a heads up. I'm just saying. Now, Jennifer lets us know that she was a flight attendant. And Gina says, oh my goodness, I was also a flight attendant. And Jennifer met her husband on a flight. I said, you know what? When I was younger, when I was in high school, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and become a flight attendant. But I couldn't do it because there was a weight requirement and your girl was overweight. Yes, I was and still is. Anyway. There's no longer a weight requirement now. But anyway, this is not about me. But I had always thought I should become an international flight attendant and meet me somebody in first class. I'm just saying, it was a little dream, a little fantasy of a high school student. Don't judge me. Anyway, Gina says that she wished that she had a chance to get to know more of this side of her. Gina, listen, girl, this is a one-sided fake beef that you have with this woman. And you didn't have the opportunity to know this side of her because you were too busy judging and spreading rumors about this woman before you got a chance to know her. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't care about Jen and her affair. I like this lady and I think she's good for the Housewives. She is coming out. For the most part, she's telling her information, even though she is trying to lie about not having the sex. But she's a cool girl, in my opinion. And Gina, she's given a hell of a lot more than you have given. You mind your business. Leave this woman alone. So Shannon, who's up to something, she makes up this lie that she's got to step away from the table because her two 18-year-old children's babysitter didn't show up. Listen, I don't know why she couldn't come up with a better lie than that. Anyway, the rest of the girls take this opportunity to talk crap behind this woman's back. Why is John not watching her kids? He must not be 100% in. He should absolutely be 100% in. He should be watching her kids. Oh my gosh. And Heather Dubrow says maybe Shannon's not 100% in. Why are you talking about this woman and this relationship, which is none of y'all's business? Turns out, you guys know Shannon. Didn't Shannon dress like a bear last season? She is up to something. You know this woman loves a costume. She dresses up like a cocktail waitress, pours them all some shots, and surprises the ladies. These same ladies who just talked about you and your relationship like garbage. I'm just saying, I can't stand it when they do this. So here we go again. Here's Tamara and Shannon. Cheers to our friendship. Oh my gosh, we're starting over. Yeah. Please cut the shit. I am pretty sure before the season is over, we will see at least 5 more arguments between Shannon and Tamara. So honey, then we get to the good part. So Taylor tells Heather that she believes that Heather didn't want to do the movie because she thinks that Taylor is a rookie and she's too good for this and didn't want her name associated or attached to it. Honey, now listen, Heather has been activated. And this Heather Dubrow, I love. Heather tells her, well, that sounds like a you problem and not me. I said, oh, God. Heather lets her know what the protocol is because she's a professional. She said that somebody from this film should have reached out to her from production to call her to let her know that this is a real deal. What time is it? What part is she going to be playing? What days is she going to be there filming? All that's other information, including how much she's getting paid for this. She tells Taylor that she's got more experience than her. And, you know, that's the truth. She also lets her know this is your first acting gig. Taylor then lets her know that she was hired for the role or whatever. And Heather says that's not true. I was not hired for the role. Nobody has told me anything besides you. And this is not your movie. You are not the director. You are not the producer. You cannot hire me. She said that she was in her own little world or fantasy land or something. Oh my God. I don't know. Heather was just doing too much. Taylor says, well, if someone from the film reaches out to you, will you do the part? Heather tells her, if someone from the film reaches out to me, I will read the script and I absolutely will consider this. So they decide that they're good now. They're going to squash it and move on. And then here comes Tamara, friend of no one, running Taylor over with the freaking bus. Out of nowhere, she says, did you tell her that they want her to audition? So here's Heather. Heather said audition. So she's in her confessional. She says, So you offer me the role. I turn the role down. I'm better for this role, but now you want me to have an audition tape. She said, did they see my IMDb? Were they not impressed? And Taylor says, they just want an audition tape. And Heather says, so you got the part, but they want an audition tape from me. You've never been in anything. And Taylor said on Watch What Happens Live that her little part is very small and she did have to audition. The part that they were offering Heather was a very big part of the movie. Heather was so pissed off. She said, so your IMDb is better than mine? And Heather was tooting her horn. She might as well have just screamed out, Google me. She's name dropping. She said, we ran into Diana at the airport who created That's Life that I starred on CBS. Taylor says 22 episodes. Heather gets upset and says, why are you saying it like that? Taylor says, no, because it's a long run. 22 episodes is a lot. I mean, this little petty feud was doing too damn much. Then after the show, Heather gets on her Instagram and she says, putting out someone's candle doesn't make yours burn brighter. Swipe for a few highlights and memories from my IMDb. Grateful to have worked with such incredible people. I mean, listen, Heather is pissed. How dare you poo-poo on her career? Then, I had to agree with Gina when she said this argument is ridiculous and petty. Taylor has never been in anything. Heather has not won an Oscar. And that is the truth. She has not only not won an Oscar, she has never won an Emmy or a Tony. I don't know why she thinks that she's Meryl Streep. Now, has she done some work? Absolutely. Is she a bigger actress than Taylor? Absolutely. Is she a bigger actress than me? Yes. But girl, you are not Meryl Streep. You are not Viola Davis. You are not Julia Roberts. I mean, please leave us alone with this. Taylor does her very best. She tries to clean it up because Taylor really likes Heather. She don't want any smoke. She really does it. Taylor says, I don't know why they want an audition tape. She said that she thought with Heather's pedigree and with her IMDb that they would really be impressed and they would not need an audition tape. Heather gets all upset and says, why are you being so rude by saying that? Listen, Taylor didn't mean anything bad by that. Heather says she used the word pedigree like I'm some kind of dog. Heather, you are taking this way too serious. You are sensitive. I mean, fancy pants is sensitive pants. I mean, good gracious, she wore her I am sensitive scarf. Goodness gracious. Then out of nowhere, here comes friend of no one, Tamra, throwing Taylor under the bus again. She said when you looked at her IMDb, you were not very impressed. I said, why would you do that? Why would you do that? So that blew Heather up even more. And Heather tells Taylor to F off and that she's not a girl's girl and that she's, shitting all over Heather's career. I mean, this is ridiculous. I seen in the previews that Taylor shoves Tamra right back under the bus that she tried to shove Taylor under. I'm sick of Tamra. I really am. Peeps, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.